Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So guys, XRP on the daily, not doing too bad, right now trading at 0.217 cents. Okay, the upward bullish rally is continuing for XRP, but guys, look at Bitcoin here. We got Bitcoin, and last night it reached $10,000, just over $10,000 per BTC. It went as high as $10,074 per BTC. Now we're hovering in that 99.61, 60 range. Okay, so Bitcoin hovering around that $10,000 range, and so this is the level of support that we need to burst through in order to really get to this $14,000 point. And then when we can break this level here, 20,000 is the next level of resistance to break for Bitcoin. So why is this significant? The Bitcoin halving is continuing to count down right now. 3 days, 13 hours, 57 minutes, 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Guys, I'll link this in the description if you want to look at the Bitcoin countdown clock. But people are getting excited about this Bitcoin halving because lots are feeling that this Bitcoin hedge will be a positive choice to make because the economy is in shambles. So this from Jungle Inc., he points this out here, this article with regards to markets and how they're starting to price in negative US interest rates for the first time. So thanks so much, Jungle, for posting this. Financial markets began pricing in a negative US interest rate environment for the first time on Thursday, a place the Federal Reserve is determined not to go as investors grappled with the economic consequences of a new beer flu outbreak. U.S. central bank officials, including Chair Jerome Powell, have said that they do not see negative interest rates as appropriate in the United States, but some investors may be seeing a much worse outcome for the beer flu-led downturn that could force the Fed to get even more experimental with its crisis response. Experimental is a nice, soft way to put it. They go on to say anything is possible. We're just in uncharted territories as far as the U.S. economy goes, said Tom DeGaloma, a managing director at Seaport Global Holdings in New York. Fed funds futures, which are a gauge of where markets expect the Fed's benchmark overnight lending rate to be, have begun pricing in a slightly negative rate environment beginning in December. So guys, pricing in negative interest rates, that does not sound good for the economy. And could this potentially be ushering in a new class of Bitcoin investors? Well, this from AMB Crypto. I'm not going to read the full thing. I will link it in the description for those of you guys who want to read it. I'm going to give you guys the gist of it. Essentially, at the beginning of this article, they talk about Bitcoin and how it's halving and the inflation, so on and so forth. But down here, they says the arrival of a new class of investors will be coming into Bitcoin. So over the past few years, the type of people investing in Bitcoin have evolved from a techno-libertarian crowd back in 2012 to a general retail crowd back in 2016. The ecosystem currently looks primed to undergo a significant influx of institutional capital and investors. Over the years, accredited investors haven't really been all in on the Bitcoin markets, and hence the market was lacking liquidity, which mirrors the like of gold or stocks. However, it could possibly change over this next year, with more and more institutional traders getting involved with Bitcoin after the halving. BTC could be looking at a major injection of capital from the creme de la creme of the financial industry. So what they are assuming is that post-halving, we will see institutional money pouring in. The above sentiment can already be witnessed in the ecosystem, and so we've seen that with Bitcoin futures, okay? So people understand Bitcoin, they have been following Bitcoin, and they have been trading in Bitcoin futures thus far. But post-halving, can we see a shift? Will we see a shift? This is an important question. And with a possible shift will come a pump in price. So guys, I wanted to bring this up to you. Bitcoin's pump has pulled down the XRP BTC to a low of December 17. So XRP and BTC have been pumping simultaneously, but it looks as though Bitcoin is really taking off right now, leaving XRP kind of not really doing too much. I mean, it's still pumping, it's still making new highs. XRP is at a lower price point. BTC has more liquidity, it has more name recognition, it has a larger market cap. So people are pumping money into Bitcoin at this moment in time. Also, the halving is coming up, so it makes sense for BTC to be pumping at this rate. But what this article is suggesting is that, and I'm not going to really get into it, I'm just going to essentially just show it to you here on the chart, is that when you look at XRP to BTC, we are right down here, okay? And that's denoted by this red line here. I don't know if you guys can see that, okay? So we dipped right back down down to this level here, guys, that hasn't been seen since before. Let me just pull this up for you. We're getting down to lows that we haven't seen since December 2017. Now, again, this is the XRP Bitcoin chart. And so rather this level of demand for XRP Bitcoin based in this area here before we really started to see a pump for XRP correlating to Bitcoin in that last rally. So right now the level is here. I don't know if you guys can see with that red line. And what happened after it based? Well, XRP pumped. And could we see the same kind of thing with this Bitcoin halving? So people are putting money into Bitcoin right now. And then could we see a major sell-off for Bitcoin, making that same kind of correlation? An XRP pump to Bitcoin, it might be an opportunity to buy Bitcoin with XRP if that's something you want to do. I'm not saying you should do it, shouldn't do it. It's just something to think about. Then when Bitcoin price pumps again, put it back into XRP. Something to think about. Again, that is more of an advanced trading move. I know it is a lot more prudent just to hold your XRP and wait for it to moon in a bullish rally, which we are likely going to see in the coming 6 to 18 months. My thoughts. Well, we're already seeing it right now for Bitcoin. So, I mean, technically we are already in a bullish rally. Momentum has gained quite significantly. And again, guys, we need to pierce that $10,000 mark, bust straight through that without meandering around, and then 14,000 is our next stop. How high could XRP go? Well, I know you guys saw this Mr. B video. So Mr. B XRP, I know you might follow him on Twitter. He also has a YouTube channel. And he brought this up, and I know a lot of guys in the space were talking about this. The total XRP placed in escrow, $49.5 billion, but with the caveat, with the asterisk here, saying as of April 26, 2020, the total includes business development agreements that are still pending. So essentially what that means, if you didn't catch anybody's video yesterday, is they have earmarked some XRP, so this total supply isn't actually in escrow. And so what does that mean for XRP? This is why we saw it pump way back in 2017. It's because the supply is actually lower than what we're seeing here on CoinMarketCap, whatever it is here. Yeah, 44.1 billion. The supply is actually lower than that. What Ripple is suggesting in this video, and I'll link Mr. B's video in the description of this video, is that this total number, sorry, I was looking at 49.5 billion. What I meant to look at was this 44.1 with the asterisk beside it. But what he's suggesting is that some of that XRP is in the ecosystem, some of it's being held by you and I, but some of it's being earmarked, some of it is being held by institutions, or some of it will be held by institutions, so i.e. not in circulation. That is what's going to cause XRP price to rise again to new heights in this next bull run. And guys, let's not forget this. It is 2020. 3 years ago, it was 2017. Do you think more financial institutions are holding that XRP with an asterisk or less than before? I personally think more has been tied up, which essentially means less of a circulating supply. Not to mention the XRP community. How much XRP have you accumulated over the last 3 years? When you look at your portfolio then versus now, I can tell you that I have accumulated to date over 20 times more XRP than I held back in 2017. And I'm sure the same goes for a lot of you guys as well. So XRP supply is dwindling, and so will we see higher XRP prices in the next bull run? I seem to think so. I think $3.80 was just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to get institutional money coming in after this Bitcoin halving, and we are going to see prices explode. Guys, I saw this from John Luciano on Twitter. He posted this article from the Daily Hodl. Ripple reveals new details on mysterious cryptocurrency trading platform. So new information on Ripple's next generation crypto trading platform continues to trickle in via the company's job posting. So Ripple is currently looking for a liquidity staff software engineer to join the project's team. According to the application, the enterprise-grade distributed trading platform will provide real-time access to crypto markets and Ripple products. A separate job opening for an engineer manager states the new trading platform will be integrated with Ripple's XRP-powered cross-border payment solution on-demand liquidity. Ripple CTO David Schwartz says that the company is pushing to make it easy for anyone to launch asset-based tokens on the XRPL. However, it remains unclear exactly how the trading platform will work with ODL. We know that Ripple acquired the Logos network back in last September. And so another piece to the puzzle, Ripple keeping us on our toes. But they're always developing something in the background, and I'm never surprised that they don't stop innovating. They have to keep the momentum moving in order to be number one. The top cryptocurrency in the world is not going to sit back on its laurels and assume they have it in the bag. Nothing is in the bag. 2020 has been an unusual year thus far, although I love hearing stuff like this because it just goes to show you that Ripple is still forging ahead, making moves, looking to improve, and creating an ecosystem, in this case for people to trade crypto using ODL. I also saw this from the Daily Hodl, guys. Enterprise adoption for Ripple and XRP for cross-border payments is on the rise, says Australian exchange BTC Markets. Now, we know in the Mexican corridor, we saw all-time highs for ODL in April, and it was the biggest month they had ever had. I believe, I did the story a couple days ago now, but that April was huge. I forget the exact numbers, but that April blew it out of the water. Well, BTC Markets CEO Carolyn Bowler says the partnership has created a new source of trading volume on its exchange, driven by businesses. So companies are using the asset to make more effective cross-border payments. This use case is a real differentiator to other digital assets. Now, this has to do with the Australian exchange. Using XRP to cut transaction fees and make same-day payments bridge real benefits and fixes the problems of the existing system. XRP is a bridge between traditional financial institutions and the new world of fintech. This is a quote from Carolyn Bowler, BTC's market CEO. The amazing thing about ODL, she says, is that businesses using XRP for faster and cheaper cross-border payments are driving volume through our exchange, which is unique in the crypto markets. It fits with our business model seamlessly and gives us a huge competitive advantage. You got to think, when an exchange is liquid, when it's more liquid, they are going to be able to fill orders more efficiently rather than their counterpart who isn't as liquid. So where are the customers going to go? They're going to go to the most liquid market if they had a choice. If they're intelligent enough to realize that, they're going to go to one of these exchanges like Binance. You know, the more popular ones we tend to hear about in the space tend to be more liquid just because they're more popular. That kind of thing goes hand in hand. So it's a benefit for everybody to use XRP in a way because the liquidity is what's going to provide efficiency, especially once we see a lot of money being poured in and a lot of volume flowing through cryptocurrencies during the next bull run. So it's really great to hear that coming out of Australia as well. We've got Wrath of Kahneman here on Twitter. SBI's annual report has plans to consolidate, get this guys, Japanese ATMs through MoneyTap's settlement network. And MoneyTap is built on Ripple, for those of you guys who did not know that. Promote the next generation ATM by utilizing the solution of ATM Japan Limited. Taking into account the need for standardization of new bills and passbooks, achieving a balance between maintaining customer service and reducing ATM operation costs. So, ATMs not going away anytime soon, at least not in Japan. And what they're doing is they are now building a new system via MoneyTap so that the Japanese people can withdraw money using blockchain technology, even if it is fiat paper bills. And so regardless if you're Bank A, Bank B, or Bank C, as shown in this diagram here, they will be jointly managing ATMs utilizing MoneyTap's settlement network. Currently, each bank has an ATM with its own bank app, but with a common web app, the same ATM may be used as its own jointly operated multi-bank ATM. So interesting news there coming out of Japan. Thanks so much, Wrath of Kahneman, for posting that. Guys, the web continues to grow. I keep telling you this. Ripple has got its tentacles in everything, and I'm happy to hear that because we want XRP to be the standard. XRP has that ability. XRP was carefully structured to be a better Bitcoin 2.0. And so it looks as though it is going to be the cryptocurrency that runs finance around the globe. And did you guys notice this? This from Stuart XRP at XRP_Stuart on Twitter. Ripple's podcast Blockstars is being promoted on Twitter. Ripple are paying for their placement on Twitter. They must want a wider reach. And so that's interesting because, you know, this podcast, despite what the XRP community thinks about themselves, it wasn't just created for you and I, guys. It's clearly created for a wider group. Ripple wants people to know about Ripple and XRP, the benefits, how it's going to change the world, what the company Ripple is doing to be able to create the internet of value. So thought that was interesting, promote it. I wonder what their keyword searches or, you know, what their metrics are in order to promote it. Probably banks and institutions, people in finance. But it doesn't hurt if the everyday Joe knows about XRP as well. That's my thought. You know, if you go to MoneyGram and you're not part of the XRP community and you see runs on Ripple and then you remember, I saw that Blockstars advertising podcast on Twitter that said it runs on Ripple. That's interesting. I heard them talk about money moving fast. Yeah, I'll use MoneyGram. So who knows, might be promoted to the end user. I'm not entirely sure. This from Anders Lundberg. So a possibility of a new corridor. Could it be a USD Euro corridor? Well, in 2017, Joel Katz says we don't target the biggest corridors like USD Euro because they're efficient already. And so this goes back through a tweet here that had to do with a dollar to euro encrypted foreign exchange network. This from Anders Lundberg, retweeting a Stewart XRP tweet. I'm just going to dig deeper into this. So Thursday, April 23rd, 2015, the Bretton Woods Committee and the Institute for International Economic Policy talked about using Ripple as a potential example for a dollar to euro encrypted foreign exchange network as a positive example, but argued that more research is needed to be done considering government integration. So this, again, an older tweet. But David Schwartz did mention that back in 2017 that Ripple tends to target here it is here. We don't target the biggest corridors like USD Euro because they're efficient. We target inefficient but fairly high volume corridors. And this is what we've seen now from Ripple, you know, targeting USD to Mexican or Filipino peso USD, corridors that are being used but that have historically been inefficient. Here's a list of some of the most traded currency pairs, Euro USD being 28% and Australian USD being only 6%. So we can see we know that there is a USD Australian corridor. So comparatively, a very utilized corridor. However, this from Ripple Insights, corridors, the company went into production with ODL payments originating from Australia into USD and PHP, which is the Filipino peso, and a new production ODL corridor from Euro to USD. Plans for additional corridors are in progress in 2020. So are they going to be targeting something a little more utilized now because they see benefits in a USD Euro corridor? I don't know. This is still up for debate. Thank you, Anders Lundberg, for posting this. It'd be really great, though, to see a USD Euro corridor. I mean, there's a lot of business happens within the European Union and the United States, so I'm sure it'd be a widely used corridor. However, we know Ripple, of course, they wanted to focus on the more exotic but frequently used corridors in the past. Maybe they have kind of tied up as much as they can there and are looking to strategize to open something new up. I don't know, just a thought floating around. If any of you guys have any insight on this, put it in the comments section. And guys, KYC really important. XRP Crypto Wolf pointed this out. Ripple-backed Securitize builds a digital ID service in hopes of creating an industry standard. So guys, this from Securitize, and as you know, Securitize received an investment from Ripple and Coinbase. This from back in November 2018, so they are Ripple-backed. And here it is here. The company announced its new identification service, Securitize ID, Thursday, saying any individual who completes their KYC process with the transfer agent can use the same information when trying to onboard with any other company which adopts the service. So what they're saying is they want to create a Securitize ID, one security ID that will fit all platforms. So you don't have to keep putting in all your information. Essentially, you will be confirmed and then you can use your ID on all the different platforms. So that sounds like something interesting and new in the space that Ripple is involved in. Guys, I'll link this article in the description for those of you guys who want to read it further. This also from XRP Crypto Wolf, Ripple's on-demand liquidity partner Bitstamp will integrate its trading services with Signature Bank's commercial digital payments platform. And so this is a Forbes article here. Bitstamp will align its trading service with Signature Bank commercial payments platform. Bitstamp announced today that its crypto exchange would integrate with Signet TM, Signature Bank's commercial digital payments platform. The move is another example where crypto exchanges are integrating digital asset services with traditional and regulated financial institutions. So guys, when we're seeing articles like this, a new class of investors are going to be getting into cryptocurrencies. The article I pointed out at the beginning, it is no joke. They are really looking to prepare this and make sure that institutional money feels comfortable to get into cryptocurrency, because that's when we're going to see this number, guys, explode. I wouldn't be surprised if it went up 5 times over $1 trillion if we had a $1 trillion crypto market cap. Think about the prices of all these coins, and also think about the fact that a lot of these coins will be wiped out because, you know, there are still a lot of crap coins on here that have no use case, that haven't really proved themselves over the last 3 years. They had the opportunity to, but a lot of these companies have just shuttered. So if we see a crypto market cap rise, a few names will remain. Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, XRP, just to name a few. few, probably Litecoin, Binance Coin, a few others, Stellar, Cardano possibly, Chainlink. There are a few that will, but most will be obliterated, and that'll be good because if that money pours in and the crypto market cap goes up times 5, let's say to over $1 trillion, think of what that will do to the prices of the handful of coins that remain. So Bitstamp says by integrating with Signet's API, Bitstamp has expanded the availability of around-the-clock, near-instant transfers to a greater range of its institutional clients. The solution allows Bitstamp's institutional customers to transfer USD to and from exchanges in real time 24/7, with clearing and settlement completed within seconds. Within seconds? Settlement? Within seconds? Wonder what they're using there, guys. We know Bitstamp, one of the preferred exchanges that uses Ripple's XRP as ODL. It's becoming clearer and clearer to me, at least, every single day how this is going to shake out. So thanks so much, XRP Crypto Wolf, for posting that. And so what do you guys think of this? We've been talking about a new global monetary system, and this guy here lays it all out for us. First, I want to show you this tweet here from Ian Northing. I think it's getting closer, and this with regards to a tweet here from the Digital Nomad Investor. It's too big a step too soon to have a digital asset by itself right now as the global reserve currency. A digital asset will be involved, but combined with the SDR, so XRP plus SDR equals the ESDR years down the road. So they're talking about the possibility of this happening. This with regards to a Jim Rickards tweet. It will happen, but it will be controlled by the IMF, not a bunch of freelance devs. So what will have to happen in this regard? Will one of those major bodies have to adopt XRP and deem it trustworthy enough to be the global reserve, or will they use something else completely? And, it is quite possible that that could happen as well. It's an interesting thought, though. Thanks so much to Ian Northing for posting this and the Digital Nomad Investor. Of course, his tweet from back in August 2019. But then Martin Volk came out, posted this very, very detailed flowchart describing the coming reset of the international monetary system. So thanks so much, Martin Volk. And this is huge. He's asking for your opinion. So guys, I will link his tweet in the description. Add him on Twitter if you don't already have him. Martin's still looking to accumulate followers. He has 518 right now. Guys, give him a follow on Twitter, but look at what he's come up with, and he created this document, actually. You can get the PDF here, so again, the tweet will be linked in the description. A lot of this, let me see if I can zoom in a little. No, it's not even letting me zoom in. No, okay, I'm gonna go to the okay, that's zoomed in too much now. I'm gonna go to the PDF, and maybe I can zoom in there because the text is quite small. There we go, zoom in a little, there we go. So the coming reset of the international monetary system, gold realities, gold myths, and showing a flowchart with gold, the SDR, and how the different countries are going to interact with that. We've got gold price, non-deflationary price of gold in a global-backed SDR reserve. Tier 1, the SDR, which would define as equal to a specified weight in gold. And Tier 2, each local currency unit would be defined as a specified quantity of SDRs. Since local currency is defined in SDRs and SDRs are defined in gold, by extension, every local currency would be worth a specified weight in gold. Interesting theory. Finally, since every local currency is in a fixed relationship to SDRs and gold, each currency would also be in a fixed relationship with one another. And guys, he puts Ripple and XRP down here. The bridge currency, XRP, would be that bridge currency to move money across platforms. It would act as a bridge currency between digital central bank currencies, which themselves lack interoperability. So this is a bigger outlook on how, I'm not going to go over all of it because as you guys can see, there's a lot here, but I'll link it in the description. He says down here, the theory is largely based on the book, The Death of Money by James Rickards. So if you're interested in James Rickards' theories, you might want to take a look at this. Thanks so much, Martin Volk, for posting this. Guys, we got a lot of great people in the XRP community, everybody contributing. I'm getting really, really excited for this bull run. I could really see XRP rise in price after that Bitcoin halving takes place, after the market starts pumping. Do you think we will crush $5? I personally think we can. Also, let's think about the XRP that is actually in the ecosystem versus what they're telling you, and how much less is in the ecosystem now in 2020 than was in 2017. Think about all the hodlers out there. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.